Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is a book review of the fourth book of the Wheel of Time, The Shadow Rising. Now, I'm getting right into this. This book is really, I don't know how I feel about it. I really don't. It's been about a week since I finished it. I almost did a review right after I finished it, but oh my, I'm trying to figure out how I feel, and I'm like, all right, I think I understand it now. But, oh man, this book, I'm so hit or miss on it. Like, I really am. Like, I don't know how to, like, form a great opinion. So I'm kind of just going to rant, probably about Ran, Naive, Egwene, Elaine, Moraine, basically everyone besides Perrin. And maybe not Matt too much. Because I feel like I didn't get to see Matt do too much in this book. He was basically just following Rand around the whole time. And yeah, Matt had his moment of talking to, like, the people who were telling him, like, hey, you have to go here or you'll die. Like, I'm not going to try to go into too deep of spoilers, but that's basically the main thing for Matt. Most of it was just Rand, obviously, because he's the main character. Most of the time, Matt just followed Rand around, and I'm like, oh, man. And Matt kept referring to every time, he's like, I'm just going to leave. But he never did, because Rand, that fool, made him stay with him, and it was just making me so mad. And there was a problem that was going on in Emmons Field about White Cloaks and Trollocs, so Perrin escaped. He didn't even escape because Rand just let him go. Like, Rand used his power, he channeled to block, essentially, Moraine, and block, like, Moraine's senses or something, to let Perrin leave through the way gates with Fael and some yeomen, and then with Lionel. And I mean, that was fine, but oh my gosh, dude, Rand makes me so mad. Rand is so ignorant, and he's just he's very frustrating as a main character. And yes, I understand. Like, someone commented Dragon Reborn, which I do appreciate it, explaining to me why Rand seems so mad in book 3, but in book 4 he's not. So thank you for clarifying that. I really do appreciate it. So, like, they revert back just a little bit of how Rand is in book 4, of him being mad. But Rand just really makes me mad. And another thing that makes me really mad about this book is women that, like, I swear every girl is in love with Rand. Every single girl that talks to him is in love with him, and it makes me so mad. Like, I don't understand the appeal of this man. Why would you want to be in love with the guy that is literally going to be crazy? Like, he's going to be insane, and he is the one to either destroy the world or save the world. Like, they talk about this since the first book. The Dragon Reborn is supposed to be the one that is going to save the world or destroy it. And all these girls are like, oh my god, he is so hot. I have to fall in love with him. And then you got Rand, it's like, I love Egwene. And then Egwene's like, yeah, I don't love you. And he's like, yeah, I don't love you either, but I love Elena. But then he's like, what about Min? And then he's like, what about Vienda? And then I'm like, holy crap, dude, I'm sorry. But to me, if I was the Dragon Reborn, I wouldn't want to focus on any women right now. I'd be focusing more on just trying to learn how to control my channeling. If I was him, at least, maybe something. Especially when people think you're mad. You know, like, you need to do something. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Who knows? But my biggest problem, too, is with this book. This book really just stuck out as a sore thumb. Was this pet peeve that stuck out the most is how he wrote some of the women. Like, so Naive, Egwene, and Elena were really hard. Their chapters were really hard to read through. Like, Egwene makes me so mad. And I was told a lot of people are really hit or miss with Egwene. And the biggest problem with Egwene is, depending on where she's at, she acts like the other character that's in the room with her. So if Naive is in the room with her, she acts a lot like Naive. And it's like, why? Just be yourself. But if she's in the room with Moraine, she acts more like Moraine. And she's with Elena, she acts more like Elena. And I'm like, whew, and just, why? Like, it makes me so mad. And it also makes me mad with Naive. Naive is just annoys me. Like, she literally annoys me. So when I see her, I try to, like, skim read. over her lines because it's just irritating. She's always mad. Like, dude, relax. Like, honestly, go smoke something or drink some tea. Like, you need to relax. And it just drives me nuts with how much these girls just are like one-dimensional women. And it's like, dude, and they all hate men. Like, I swear to God, every single one of them hates men. Like, the dudes don't, like, some of the dudes are just like, hey, what's up? I feel like any of the guys could give, like, Naive, for example, tea. Or like 100 gold, and he's like, here you go, this is for you. And she'd be like, wow, men, how despicable. And I'm like, what do you want? What do you want from these guys? And it's really hard to read this book, and it makes it harder to want to read the 5th book, and obviously the other 8 books up there, because it's like, if this is how he's writing female characters for one end, and this is how Rand's gonna act, I don't want to stay involved. I told myself I will give book 5 one chance, and I will finish. I know I will. But after that, that's it. I don't think I could continually read these books at the same pace as what I originally planned. Originally, I planned on reading one every other month. And then I just finished Shadow Rising. I'm like, holy crap. It's really tough to read this. And another thing is, Fael has no character besides being obsessed with Rand. It's like, dude, get over him. Like, the whole time, every time you read the book, all she does is think about Rand. And I don't care. I think it makes me hate Rand because these girls are just obsessed with him. And the funny part is, they don't know anything about him hardly. Like, Egwene knows the most about him, obviously, but like, the rest of these girls are in love with him, don't know hardly anything about him. He says he's a sheep herder and he's a Dragon Reborn. They don't know anything else. And it's just, to me, it's just not entertaining. Like, there's times where in the book where Elena and Rand spend time together, but it feels very quick, and you don't feel like they actually spent time together. And like, they do kisses, is what he calls them. He's like, they're kissing, and I'm like, all right, that's cool, but I'm like, they don't know each other. Like, they don't really do. All that Rand knows is that she's just the daughter to the queen, and it's like, that's about it. And another thing is, at the end of the book, Egwene and Nynaeve are with Rand, and they were with the women's circle, I think it's called, with the Aiels, and they made Aviendha stay with Rand all day, 24/7. So in my head, I already was like, I'm pretty sure she'll fall in love with him. But he makes it start out, so this is why I question it, where Aviendha hates Rand, hates him, hates his guts. And I was like, oh, cool, finally, someone might be different. No, you can tell towards the end of the book, she's like falling in love with him. And even Rand's like, I think I'm starting to love her. They don't speak. That's what makes me mad. She is with him 24/7, and they barely speak, and when they do talk, she's nothing but rude to him. So why would you, like, to me, if I was Rand, I'd be like, yeah, I don't think she likes me at all. Instead, he's like, I think she loves me. Like, that's just very arrogant. It's hard for me to really like these characters. And another thing, I'm really hit or miss about this. I'm going to give it a little longer to let it marinate. Maybe in book 5 might be different. But like, Perrin's wife, Fael, well, yeah, whatever. But Fael, she is interesting. I like her in some chapters, and I dislike her in others. I kind of like, my favorite part about Fael is she is ride or die with Perrin. If Perrin's like, I'm going out to fight this giant fish, she's like, all right, I'm with you. And she has like daggers everywhere. Like, she's ready. She is like, I'm ride or die. And Perrin's the same exact way with her. The relationship is very good. But early on, I don't like the way how he was doing things with Fael. Fael was like slapping and disrespecting Perrin. And Perrin is such a calm-minded character that, to me, because I'm a fan of Perrin. Perrin's my favorite character. Perrin feels like the most developed character. And I really like Perrin. And Fael is really good for Perrin, but when she's like hitting him and constantly disrespecting him, it makes me dislike her more and just like Perrin more. And that's my biggest pet peeve. Like, when she slapped him the second time and Perrin's like, Fael, don't. And I'm like, I feel like, I mean, there's other books I've read where the dude slapped the woman back for doing that. Like, Game of Thrones, for God's sakes, does it. Like, obviously, Wheel of Time's not like that. And Perrin's not like that, so I understand. But I'm like, I'm surprised. Because just how this world is, I always have those feelings. But at the same time, it's like, how the women are in this world, a lot of the men are scared of them because a lot of them are Aes Sedai. And that's another thing. All the Aes Sedai are just miserable people. Like, all of these Aes Sedai are just miserable. Like, I swear the Aes Sedai just run around and pick girls, and they're like, all right, you're going to become an Aes Sedai, and then they are just miserable for the rest of their lives. Like, holy crap. I'm trying not to rant, and I'm trying to find what's the good of it. And honestly, the only thing I like the most about it is with Perrin. Every time when Perrin was on the page, I was like, my boy, I was hyped. I legit was hyped. And I felt like with this book, I felt like Moraine was one of my favorites when I first started reading this. She's starting to take a back seat, which I feel like is okay. But at the same time, when she's on screen, she's not doing anything. So I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. I'm just here. And I'm trying to think of the positive notes, but every time I kept reading and thinking about this, I'm like, these books are just becoming harder to read. And it's really sad. I'm giving the 5th book a try. And I made a post on my book page Instagram about this book. I put a review up about how I don't like Rand, Egwene, and Nynaeve. And I had actually a couple comments that's like, everyone's like, yeah, they don't get better until like book 11. I'm like, book 11? That's 6 more books for me to read until I actually start liking them. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so weird. That's like saying yeah, just get through the first 3 seasons of the show and you'll really like it. I promise it gets really good. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't know. It's a commitment. And what I did with The Shadow Rising, because it was driving me nuts, I actually got it on audio as well. So I was listening to chapters of it at work just so I can finish faster. Like, I would read about 100 pages a day, but oh man, it was so draining on me. So I don't know. But yeah, that's gonna be my video. I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys stay safe, stay hungry, and tell someone you love them. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.